Well, it happened to me. Last week I was driving to work like I do every day when I ran over a tow strap in the middle of the lane. PSA to all owners of tow straps and children. Freeway is not a good place to leave either one unsupervised. Pretty soon my car was complaining it was running low on powertrain coolant, and when I stopped and took a look, sure enough my day was ruined. I was only a mile away from the nearest service center, so I got the car there. They found out that the buckle on the strap had come up right through the plastic shield on the bottom of the car and had broken one of the coolant lines that runs into the battery pack. On a Tesla, I guess shield is more of a ceremonial responsibility.
Here we go again, infatuation touches me.
Now, there was this pretty similar incident a couple of years ago where somebody ran over some debris that wound up breaking the coolant inlet on the battery. Now, in this case, they wanted $16,000 to replace the entire pack. This was a really cool video if you're interested in seeing more, but I actually feel kind of lucky that only a couple inches to the side, and this would be a very different story. I got the car back the next day, so it wasn't really a big deal, but I was not interested in having this happen again, so when I got home I wound up buying some aluminum replacements to put on the bottom of the car myself. I got mine locally from Tony at TeslaUpgrades.net, but you can also buy them on T-Sport line if you're interested in paying twice as much. The shields are hydroformed aluminum with a layer of adhered on EPDM rubber for sound insulation on the inside. An engineer at Tesla told me there's a few reasons that the stock shields are made of plastic, the first being aerodynamics, the second being noise insulation, and the third being cost. Wonder which one Elon thinks is most important. I was curious if there would actually be a difference, so that's what this video is about. I log a lot of data from the car, so I don't think the efficiency question will be hard to answer. In order to collect noise data, I mounted a meter to the roof glass and went on a test drive. This data includes a mix of surface streets and highway driving at different speeds. We'll use this as our baseline. Installing the aluminum shields is pretty easy. This video is not meant to be a tutorial, but anyone could do this. You'll need ramps, a socket wrench, maybe a pair of pliers. The procedure is more or less the same as if you were stealing a catalytic converter, but there is no cat. Instead, there's just a lot of really important looking stuff down here, and it's almost hard to believe that this is protected by a super thin layer of plastic. Anyway, bolt on your new aluminum shields, put it back together, and drive it off. Take it for a spin. But let's see the data. Let's find out if the Tesla Internet Defense Force is right about how bad of an idea this is. So first off, efficiency. Log data makes this pretty easy. I'll use my commute to work as a good example since it's at the same time every day and I usually drive the same way. This was my last drive before installing the shields, and this one is the first one after. If we compare the two consumption and efficiency values, you'll see that they are exactly the same. I compiled data from 4 different drives before and after. I'll condense these down to averages so it's easier to read. As you can see, there's a massive difference between the two. So that's one down. Let's take a look at noise. When I drove at different speeds before the shields were installed, here's what I measured. With the aluminum, here are the numbers. Again, realistically, there's no difference. Now that final reading might look a little bit like the aluminum is louder, but there was a concrete section of highway at that time, and I think that had more to do with it. Looking back at the data, what I found was that passing cars, the HVAC system, people talking, and my music seemed to make way more of a difference than the actual shields did. Now, I'm not gonna bother editing together a whole section of driving on residential streets, but trust me, it was the same there too. So it seems like noise isn't the reason either. We'll take that one off the list, and that leaves us with cost. Now, for sure, Tesla is probably saving a few bucks a car with this, and that's good for me as a Tesla shareholder. But as an owner, the first estimate I received said it was going to cost almost $300 to replace one broken shield. This set cost me $350, and that's before you consider the potential for a $16,000+ pack swap. So if you own one of these cars, I think it's a good idea to buy some. As we've proven, there really are no downsides. Thanks for watching.